and happy Beltane Eve. That's when I'm doing these recordings for the weekly spell check. So those of you that celebrate that, Beltane Eve is obviously the eve of the 1st, which is May Day, and this is this idea of it's the peak of springtime. So it's this time of beautiful growth and things all just sort of starting to unravel, and hopefully that's going to be the same for our life. So the energies are hopefully going to tell us what we need to know in this peak of this season. Okay, so the spell check this week is slightly different. I thought I would mix things up a little bit. So it's a pick a card spell check this week. So there were 3 candles. There was a red candle, a yellow candle and a green candle. And I had pre-shuffled and pre-picked all these different decks into a very unique pile specific to whatever you decide to choose. So welcome to group 1, which is the red candle. So yeah, sometimes maybe you were drawn to red. Symbolically for me, red is kind of about love. The yellow candle is more happiness, joy, and all things linked to that within our lives. And the green kind of is, although it's green and it's about the heart space, it can talk about the heart space, but for me it's kind of more potentially our material lives, our finances, our careers, but maybe just about how we can make things work more effectively and be more abundant. That's what the green kind of symbolizes for me, but who knows what the piles wish us to know for this week's spell check. Thank you for coming and listening. As always, my subscribers, I really appreciate you being here and listening. It means a lot to me. It's an honor for me to do these readings for you, and I really do enjoy them, so I hope you enjoy this week's. So let's get going with group 1 for our red candle. I'm not going to light it because the wax will go everywhere. But within this deck of all these different cards, we have my modern witch deck, the romance angels, I have an affirmation card, some action angels and soul angel cards, and an everyday witch card as well for you. So I'm going to pull your angel action cards first, see what they'd like us to be aware of this week. My red candle group. You have the angels of nature. The angels of nature are with you today, and we have this lessons. Failure is not the end. It is opportunity to learn in another way. So have you been experiencing something that you think hasn't been working for you recently? Perhaps you've just finished something and you felt the outcome wasn't the desired result you were really hoping for. We'll get into this because we'll look at the cards and see what they're telling us. But we learn our lessons through many of our failures. It helps us understand that how we would do it differently, doesn't it? It helps us change the way we think. And yeah, it's often very essential for our learning process. So lessons for you, my group 1. And this nature angel, I did talk about this Beltane Eve that we're in as I do this reading. It's this celebration of the earth and of nature and everything starting to grow again. This extension of sunlight and illumination. So for some of you guys with this nature angel, it's alluding that maybe you're going to get outside a lot more. Maybe we're going to have some wonderful weather for the bank holiday. Hope so. And yeah, you're going to spend more time with the people you love and friends and enjoying yourself and going outside and yeah, breathing in all that beautiful oxygen. Yes, and the first card we have is the Sun card. And really, we're talking about this illumination. Well, it doesn't get more illuminating than the sun. The sun is this powerful energy, isn't it, that helps us to feel this warmth and expansion. And in this particular deck, we have these beautiful people out in nature, as I spoke about, enjoying life, having fun. This is the card of Leo. And this is just this idea of surrendering to the things that make us happy, enjoying ourselves, being light-hearted, celebrations. But Perhaps you're going to be celebrating something in the next few weeks, or the next week even. Then we have this Page of Swords. Feels like there could be some sort of conversation that you might have with somebody. Feels like somebody is paying attention to you, watching what you're doing, group 1. Maybe this is somebody that holds a candle for you, quite literally. Sometimes a lot of readers see this as linked to the social media side of things as well. So within social media, it could be somebody checking you out. Or just somebody, you know, even if it's not on a romantic level, this could be catching up with old friends online, people looking you up, getting in contact with people perhaps you haven't spoken to in a while. Or on another note, this can be people watching what you're doing. Perhaps they're interested in you, what you're about, people you're mixing with, the places you're going. And it's kind of stirred somebody's imagination into the prospect that maybe they would like to get in contact or have a chat. Pages often carry messages. So yeah, quite often that can be, you know, an email or some sort of communication. There's a lot of air in this reading actually, group 1, because you've now got the Two of Swords in reverse. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, these air energies are. In reverse though, it feels potentially you're in a stage of knowing what you want. Perhaps it's to do with these lessons. Perhaps you've learnt some lessons and now it's just giving you this really clear image of what you're looking for, what you're wanting to move towards. And this could just be of how you wish to communicate with others. You know, perhaps you've learnt these lessons that a certain style of communication wasn't effective for you, it didn't work, didn't prove to be a good source of interaction. And perhaps now you've just decided to put down the swords and rethink things. But it's like for me, you've got this knowing about you at the moment, group 1. It's like you know what you want, you know what you're about, you understand where you've been in order to start moving forward to where you'd like to go. And yeah, I feel like you're not mincing your words actually. You're not. This Page of Swords said about somebody approaching or speaking to you, but you know, on another note, if this is you and this embodies your energy, it's like you're wielding your own sword now. You understand who you are, you're thinking more clearly, you're communicating in a much more positive way in order to bring about what you want. Okay. Yeah, I said this, didn't I? It says, so your affirmation is, I am an attractive woman or man. I am enough. Yeah, there's not this inner argument anymore. It's not like you're arguing whether you're enough. It's not like you're arguing about what you want. It's like you know. You're being very empowered. You're standing in your own strength. I feel like there's been some lessons that have taught you your worth. Maybe you're understanding your worth now better as a result, which is great, isn't it? It's really great. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple more tarot. It's extra from the... Oh, maybe somebody wants you to pull a lot more. Are there more conversations to be had with somebody new and somebody interesting? We have this Ten of Wands in reverse. This is again another sign that you're feeling in your power. You're not being held down anymore. You're not being weighted by someone or something. There's this idea of freedom. Being free to choose, making your own decisions, choosing your own destiny. And that destiny is going to provide you with this Nine of Cups, wishes coming true, emotional fulfillment. What have you been seeking, group 1? Perhaps what it is you've been seeking is seeking you. In this card, this it's a lady in this card, but this could be a male energy or a female energy, is sort of sitting pretty, proud of their accomplishments. They've been triumphant in something that they've desired. Have you been desiring something for a while and it's going to come into play for you in the next few weeks? This could be love, because you next have the Five of Cups, which sometimes is this inner turmoil or dwelling on the past, not understanding, you know, which road to take. It's more susceptible to getting stuck in negative mindsets than positives. But this is next to your Nine of Cups. So I'm feeling that that was your past energy. That was why you were holding on to all this dead wood in the past, because your heart space was looking back. And now we're going into this energy where you're going to be looking forward, springing forward. Yes, into your Six of Wands energy. And you're on Pegasus now, Group 1. It's got to be a good thing. This is you in your stride. This is basically gaining acclaim for something you've worked very hard at, or you've been striving to move forward. You've been a success at something. Some lesson, you've got lessons here. It's like you've learned a lesson somewhere. And, you know, there was a time you thought, oh, was this the right path for me? Am I doing the right thing? Am I making the right decisions? And now you know that you have the strength and you make good decisions and you're able to move forward triumphantly. Okay, what do our romance angels tell Group 1? Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. And then you have this card of free yourself. It's time to take back control. Well, I feel like these cards are saying if you haven't already taken some sort of control in your life, Group 1, then this is where you're heading to. You are definitely moving towards this position of having your shit together, having your ducks in a line and being victorious. And it's like the victories that you are going to be succeeding in free you up in some way. I think it's because you're making choices now that are more authentic for you and you're making good decisions. So if you are making a decision right now about a job or a career or something like that, now's the time. You know, you're in your power, you're in a good place. And just, you know, own it. Own those decision making. You know, your affirmation is that you're enough. And when we understand that we're enough, that's not just what we look like. That's not just our external persona. This is our internal. This is, I know that I'm worthy, I deserve, I am enough. And I see you celebrating something. I see you celebrating something with your Nine of Cups. This is finishing up a cycle after this 5, which has been difficult. It's been a long road. There's been some muddied waters on the route to wherever you are getting to, Group 1. And yeah, it feels like things are on the up for you. There's this sense of being more in control with yourself and knowing that you're in a good place. Then we have this healing family issues. This could be an ancestral line. This could be, if you're a very spiritual person, you may just have this depth of understanding that this has been a journey. And because we've got quite a few cups on there, it's been an emotional journey. And perhaps spiritually you felt like you've been going through repeated cycles, you know, difficult, tiresome footsteps on the way to this point that you're getting to now. And it feels like the energy is completely freeing up for you. Healing family issues. So maybe this is something, if it's not a spiritual awakening or an ascendance, it's about understanding forgiveness for yourself, maybe family members. Maybe, you know, they were talking about this failure and that there'd be lessons within the failure. Sometimes that's within our family dynamic. Understanding that maybe how we went about things wasn't the best way for everybody. Or maybe it's these difficult relationships we have. For somebody, there's been a really difficult relationship with their father. and there's some sort of ancestral forgiveness that's needed. Perhaps this parent was very controlling with finances or very manipulative. Perhaps this parent made you feel like you weren't enough and you were always trying to get their approval. It's saying forgive those, you know. Judging people by how they love or how they show love is a really tricky thing, because we all do it, and I understand why we do it. But when we come back to this understanding that ultimately people love in the way that they've been taught to love, or been shown to love, or they've been loved, all the same thing. And they then are able to parent in the way in which they think is the only way they know, I guess. So for some of you, there's this element of forgiving. We need to forgive these people in our lives. And just, that doesn't mean, you know, when you hear the word forgiveness, it's really interesting to see what that brings up in you inside. How does that make you feel when I say you need to forgive this person or these people? If you say, yeah, you know what, that's in my highest good to forgive them, for me to surrender, let go of that energy, whatever, and then I can just be free of it and move forward in my own energy. Well, that's a really positive way of looking at forgiveness, because that's how forgiveness should work. But then there's this shadow side, isn't there, where we think, well, why should I forgive that person? You know, they hurt me, they caused me heartbreak, they were rude, they were unkind, they were cold, they didn't show me any love, they lied, they cheated, you know, whatever it is for this individual story. And forgiving isn't always this, I sit there and say, you know, I forgive you, you can do it again. It's not that. It's not that at all. It's not even saying that you agree with what they did or how they did it. It's you saying, look, I accept it and I let go of it. And I wish you well on your journey. I'm able now to let go of any of this toxic build-up within myself, which is me going over and over and over again how terrible this was, playing the events out and this sort of thing. It's time to let that go, free yourself of it, which is going to be really, really positive for you. The cards, as I'm looking at my cards, they're a little bit mixed up, so they're all over the place. And I think a lot of you hearing what I just said is going to make you feel a little bit all over the place. And that's okay. Because as I said, we learn from things that we feel perhaps have not been good for us. This failure, sometimes we can identify that we're a failure because of the way we've been treated or the relationships we've been in. And it's not our failure to own, actually. It's just something that somebody is going through from their perspective, and they've chosen to make you suffer or make it be about you. And the sooner we can accept, forgive and let go, the better we can be. Because let's not get that mixed up. We own our own power. Nobody makes us feel a certain way. We definitely control that ourselves. So one more card to finish up today, and I'm going to be using my Law of Attraction cards. Okay, I'm going to take this card. Beautiful card. Perfect for springtime. The peak of springtime anyway. So this card says the most powerful law in the universe. Every thought vibrates, every thought radiates a signal, and every thought attracts a matching signal back. We call that process the law of attraction. The law of attraction says that which is like unto itself is drawn. You have that power. So you have the power to tell yourself how good things are and how positive things are in your life. And as soon as you realise that you have that power, you just have this ability to create. And we are here as co-creators. Have a great week, Group 1. Welcome Group 2, you picked the yellow candle, so welcome to this slightly different version of the weekly spell check. So you've picked the yellow candle, and I've literally pre-shuffled sort of a little handful of cards. I'm going to pull maybe a couple of extra tarot along the way, and then we're going to do a law of attraction at the end. But first of all, I am using the Romance Angel cards, my Modern Witch Tarot and my Everyday Witch. And then I've just thrown in one of my handwritten affirmations for you for the week to see what we've got coming up and what we can focus on. Okay, so no further ado, let's turn it over. So we have these 2 angel cards. So you have the card of exercise. Group 2, do you need to get outside? We have just had this bank holiday, and this time of year celebrated by some as Beltane Eve, or actual Beltane, on the 1st of May. And this is this idea that we're in this peak period, well, the peak of spring. So maybe you're deciding, right, summer's around the corner, let me start some exercise plan, let me start some regime, and let's get fit, let's get outside, and let's be more energetic. So that's going to be something that you really need to be thinking about, group 2. And then you have this luxury card. So maybe we need to find balance between indulging and having luxury and then being healthy. And it says, feel free to indulge yourself, you deserve it. And I quite agree, you do deserve it, especially on the bank holiday. You deserve some treats. But then the angels are saying, yeah, that's okay, but let's do it in a healthy way. So it's all about balance this week, group 2. It's all about balance. So the first card in your Everyday Witch is this 6 of Cups in reverse. 6s are often about building something or trying to create something. And because yours is in reverse, does it feel like you've been trying to focus on something that just hasn't quite, it's not the right time yet, it's not ready. You see, we have these 2 little magics growing these flowers. So there's this idea that maybe you're planting some sort of seed this week, and maybe it's in this exercise. Maybe you're looking to grow in some way that's going to be really successful, make you healthier, make you happier. Perhaps you're going to be enjoying some sort of group, maybe joining a running club or a gym, or I don't know, going to a Keep Fit class, whatever it is for you. Maybe this is, you're planting this new seed. And at the moment, the only reason it's in reverse is because you're at the beginning. But it's good to look at this card in the upright to see this is where it could potentially go. Look how fertile this is. Whatever this is that we achieve or we're looking to strive forward in some way, it's going to be really healthy for us and really good for us. So that's really great. That's saying that you're going forward in this sort of healthy mindset, which is wonderful, because the next card you have is this 5 of Pentacles in reverse. So no more victim mode, no more blaming somebody else for not achieving the things you want to achieve. It's like you're taking responsibility for your own happiness. I said earlier that this yellow candle for me is, the yellow is really sort of about abundance, prosperity, happiness, joy. For me, that's what those colours are symbolic. It's yellow like the sun, which embodies all of those things I just mentioned. So yeah, you're not blaming anybody else for anything anymore, group 2. It's like you want to say, okay, this is what I need to do. I need to build my pentacles up. I'm starting from a 5. 5s are this endeavour, this endurance, this trying to move past something. That can be a behaviour or some mindset that you've had in life. This is earth energy as well. So this is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and maybe that's you. Maybe if you are within those earth signs, you might say, right, this is me and I'm on this new journey. I've got these new goals and I'm reaching for them. And I really want to, I really want to be a success in them. But I want to come from them from a really positive mindset where I understand I need to put the work in, I need to commit, and I need to have these like really positive intentions. Great stuff, brilliant. This is a really positive reading today, group 2. Then you have this 10 of Pentacles in reverse. 10s I always talk about are the end of a cycle, and because it's in reverse, again, that's saying maybe this is something you'll do within the next 10 months, maybe it's something within the next 10 weeks. But it's like you will get to this end of this cycle and you will count those pentacles with those physical, material events or goals or processes that you know you need to do in order to make this work. There's also a message in here for somebody that in terms of health, this Ten of Pentacles in reverse, it's like changing something. Maybe you are trying to change something within your family that maybe wasn't healthy, or they're not as healthy as they could be, or maybe they suffer with their ailments, you know, genetic, hereditary disorders, and maybe that you don't want that to affect you, so you're choosing to make more positive decisions in order to move forward and for it to be different within your life. You don't want to, maybe you look at mum, dad, brother, sister, partner and say, you know what, I want to change things, I want to be healthy, let's put a plan in place. And I'm talking about health because you did have this exercise card, but you know what, that's not just your physical health either, that's your mental health as well. So maybe you're making choices for your own self-esteem and your well-being that just is different from what's happened before. This card in the reverse is very much about family and groups and, you know, our network around us, where we've come from, who surrounds us. And in reverse, it feels like you are deciding to break free of that in some way and do something different. Change events, change the course of your future by making these positive decisions. Okay. And then we have this Judgment card in reverse. This is saying don't be affected by others' opinions and what others say. If somebody is negative about anything you're choosing to do or any changes you're choosing to make, it's like, it's your choice if you listen to it, right? But this card is really, it's a major arcana, and it's saying to you, you need to listen to what is inside. What drives you? What is important to you? Not what's important to dad, mum, sister, brother, cousin, boyfriend, husband, wife, partner. What's important to you? What choices are you choosing to make? And you know what? You might be in a household where they're doing the complete opposite to whatever your new lifestyle is or your new choices are, and you're feeling like you're being judged on it. It's saying to ignore those judgments. And then you have this King of Pentacles. Ignore those judgments and ground yourself. This card, he's powerful. If he decides to achieve something, he will. He's very honourable, very steadfast. He's very secure. He delivers. And he just is very careful about the journey. He's very careful, very strategic. He understands that there's planning needed to be triumphant, to achieve victory. He knows sometimes that he has to accept what he needs to do in order to make that happen, and then be patient with himself. This is a very patient, if it's a Knight of Pentacles, I always say it's the slowest moving knight in the deck. But even with the King, it feels like this person spends time planning, considering, weighing up their options in order to make really good choices. I feel like that's going to be you, Group 2. Okay, let's go to our romance angels. What can we tell Group 2 about romance? Love yourself first. Well, isn't that just the sweetest message after everything I've just said? Self-esteem feels like it's the theme of your reading, I think. Your self-esteem, making good choices for you, Group 2. Sometimes as well, there's a little note in here for somebody that sometimes we hide behind being responsible for others, or we hide behind what we think we should do because that's what people expect of us, or that's what's always happened. And it's like we hide behind it, and for many years some of us can convince ourselves that, well, we had no choice because, you know, I was in this situation or this was going on around me, and it was hard to break free. It was hard to do something completely different to what everybody else was doing at the time. But to truly love yourself, often we have to do that. Often we have to put ourselves first. It says on this card, your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Yeah, so maybe in romance, this independent, fiery character that's choosing themselves first and putting their well-being above anything else, making themselves a priority, is a really attractive quality. It's a very I'm in my own power type of a gesture, isn't it? It's like, yeah, look at me. I know who I am. I know what I'm about. I know what I need to do to make myself full and whole. Yeah, and that's really important for you. The next card says, give your relationship a chance. Is there somebody watching this that has felt like a relationship has broken down, and maybe that's why you're just in this independent mode, because you feel like you're almost energetically coming away from this relationship already? For some, it will be necessary for you to break free of that, but for others, it might be just saying that maybe your self-esteem has been not that great, and this is why we're having to look at it. And, you know, when we're not in that power, we're not as confident as we can be, are we? So sometimes that's not an attractive thing. Maybe your partner has been seeing you in this blame mode or in this victim mode, and it's just not attractive for anybody. No one wants to be with a victim or somebody that blames everybody else for things that are going on in their life. It's just not nice. It's not attractive. So for somebody, it's give yourself a chance, give this relationship a chance, because actually you're evolving right now and you're changing. So either this relationship will change with you or it will fall by the wayside. And you need to just go with the flow of that to see what happens. Who knows? But remember, the choices you make are going to just benefit everybody. The more happier you are in life, the better you are to be in a relationship with, the better parent you'll be, the better friend you'll be. It makes everything a more positive experience. It says, today I have star quality. I feel like you do have star quality, group 2. I think you definitely are coming into your knowing and your power, and you're choosing you, and you're understanding that you're the lead character in your play, in your show, which is your life. And when we start really taking that responsibility for ourselves, I think things just naturally tend to flourish. I think we flourish. And this is, the angels are saying to you that they really want you to flourish. They really want you to find your positive verve. To end your weekly pick a card spell check, I'm going to pull you a law of attraction card. I really love these cards. They're from Abraham Hicks. Some of you might have heard some of their podcasts or their recordings, or maybe even read some of their books. They published several books. Very interesting stuff, isn't it? When we understand that the universe listens to us. It says, I am standing on the leading edge of thought. Again, your mindset creates your reality. That's the basic notion of that meaning. I'm going to read on the back for you. It says, just as all of your experiences from the time of your birth until your physical body until now have culminated into who you are now. All that has been experienced by all that is has culminated into all that is now being experienced in the physical life on planet Earth. So every event, everything that's happened in your life has happened a certain way because it's needed to play out in this way. But when we have that knowledge and we understand that actually those things have played out and we've had a really key part to play in that, our thought processes, the choices we make, the people we align ourselves with, our self-beliefs, our inner talk, all of those things create our existence. And everything you are now is all just a complete culmination of all of those things that you've done in the past. And I think what's interesting about that, mostly group 2, is that you know you have the power. It's your voice, it's your choices, it's your decisions, it's your feelings. And I just think you need to move forward and know your power, because you are powerful. Welcome, group 3 of my weekly spell check, and you picked the green candle. Cute little candles, aren't they? Okay, so, I don't know, green for me usually is more kind of material items or kind of finances, careers, this establishing yourself. But who knows, each different reading seems to have come out with lots of different meanings. So thank you for being in the reading. Thank you for being here. If you're subscribed, that's amazing. I appreciate that. Lots and lots and lots. I try and do these free readings for everybody. I do this weekly spell check, and I also put out some bi-weekly or astrology readings, and I do those in the element side. So I do my water, fire, air and earth, and then each astrology group within that element. I've just put some of those out, so if you want to go and check those out as well, they were really interesting for the next few weeks, because there's quite a lot happening within the astrology with eclipses and new moons and that sort of thing. I see on the clock now I'm 111, so I've just noticed that. And that's very angelic energy. So I feel like group 3, you have a lot of angelic presence in your reading today and around you at this time. Oh, and as I say that, the candle knocked over. Okay. Or maybe it's just the angels letting us know that, yeah, they are here today. They are with us, and they're going to give us some really clear messages for you, group 3. So I've pre-shuffled using my Modern Witch deck, my angel answer, romance angel cards. I also have been using these little handwritten affirmation cards quite a lot recently, because I felt like we've all needed that little bit of power, kind of just to change up and be mindful and really instruct our intentions and be more clear about them, so in order for us to bring them into our reality. And then I've got some angel cards and my everyday witch card. I'm going to kind of pull a couple of extra tarot as well in between, just for some sort of confirmation and clarity as we go. But first of all, I'm going to pull these angel cards. So I've mixed up a deck in here. One's an action card and one's a soul card. So yes, brilliant. You have this angel of fun around you. The angel of fun are with you today. This green energy, heart space energy. Maybe it's time to be a bit more light-hearted. You picked the green candle and you've got the green wings. And hey, I'm a green witch, so everything seems to be lining up for you, group 3. It feels like good things are potentially wanting to come in for you. And then we have this card of unity. Pretty colours, aren't they? So we are all part of the same energy source. We're all part of one. We all come from the same thing. We all kind of have the same needs, desires in life. How they manifest and what they look like can be very different, of course. But essentially, we all have this need to thrive and to flourish, and this ability to love each other and ourselves. So that's a message for you, group 3. So the first card I'm pulling, wow, I had this earlier in another deck. So you had the same as group 2, 5 of Pentacles in reverse in exactly the same place. Totally different deck though, but the same suit and the same number. And yeah, you know, because I mentioned fun and coming together, this unity. Perhaps for some of you felt quite isolated recently. Felt sort of a bit alone. Maybe that's with your thoughts or in this idea of this journey that you're on in your life. You felt like you're by yourself. And that's not your inner desire. You don't want to be by yourself. You want to have unity. You want to share. Is there somebody that you would like to either manifest into your life, group 3? Perhaps a relationship. And with it being Pentacles, this is earth-based. This is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Maybe you have had some energetic connection with a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. Maybe it's been quite difficult in dealing with this person or this dynamic. Has it been slow going? I think the angels are just saying have fun, and when you let go of a mindset or an expectation, you know, that's when stuff really starts to happen. And things start to just play out as they're meant to unfold, rather than us trying to make things happen. Yes, lovely. And then you have this 9 of Pentacles. So this is definitely, I say lovely because this is like abundant. This is a beautiful, attractive woman or man. And I think that's you, group 3. I think you are attractive. I think it seems on the outside to everybody else that you have it all. But maybe you don't feel like you have it all. Perhaps, you know, we talked about this attractiveness. Perhaps for some people out there, they can't understand why you don't have this wonderful relationship in your life or this wonderful connection that you desire. Perhaps you've spent a long time working on it, and it's the angels are just saying, just let go now. Let go of this need to control. You know, what's going to come is going to come. Don't stress about it. Don't sweat the small stuff, because actually you're going to be pretty abundant in a good position. I think for some of you, you're in a good financial position, or you're getting your career together, or work's looking really good for you, or love's coming in for you, or something's coming in abundantly for you, whatever it is your desire. This card as well, this 9 of Pentacles, can sometimes be closing something up. So maybe we're coming to the end of this independent person. Maybe this person is coming into unity. And it's going to be the moment you let go and have fun and surrender to the process that's going to happen for you. This card can be seen as very independent. So maybe you've been used to doing things your own way, being your own boss. And maybe now you're going to be entering into something where you're going to have to account for other people, make allowances for other people, make room for other people. And that feels like that's going to be a really big theme for you, group 3. Because you haven't had to up until now. Yeah, you haven't had to. This Ace of Cups is in reverse. You haven't had the love and connection that you have desired. It feels like it has eluded you. It feels like you've looked for it in maybe all the wrong places. And sometimes I think we can feel a bit sorry for ourselves, can't we? When we're thinking, well, that might be nice to have that, you know. And then we compare ourselves, don't we? Sometimes, you know, we look at other people's lives, and we have to understand that we're not living their lives. We don't have their relationships. We're not here for that. We're all unique. Every single one of us is different. No one has hair like you. No one smiles like you. No one tells stories like you do. Nobody is exciting like you are. Nobody shows their emotion in the way you do. We're all just so different. Oh, what's the quote? The Buddhism quote. Comparison is the thief of joy. That's it. And it's true. You know, when we do that, it's dangerous game comparing yourself to other people. So let go of comparison. Let go of what you think your expectations should be. And I firmly believe this Ace of Cups can then do this for you. And it will be a gift. It will be a gift. Wow. I couldn't speak then. My apologies, group 3. I just had a huge coughing fit and I couldn't get my voice back. So maybe when you have the ability to turn this Ace of Cups around, this person will take your breath away. And quite literally, your voice, as did mine, just. Yeah, I just feel like there's so much potential for this to just be this wonderful, amazing person that's going to come into your life. And as I say that, I turn this romance angel over and there's this chemistry card. There is going to be immense chemistry the minute you let go of any expectation. Just let things unfold, let them be. And if you feel sad or alone at times and you feel like things aren't working out for you, instead of just overthinking that, just think to yourself, you know what? It's okay. It's okay for me to be in this energy right now. There's lessons for me to learn. It's okay. It won't always be like this. And just show yourself kindness and compassion instead of saying, well, that's because I'm not good enough, or this isn't right, or that isn't right, or it just doesn't exist for me, or, you know, I'm never going to have X, Y, and Z. Well, that's not being kind to yourself. That's not speaking to yourself with kindness. I just want to say, I've just noticed it's 11:01. Now, when I say this, I'm looking at a timer on my camera. So I don't look at these times when I do these readings. I've done so many readings today and I haven't really, in no other groups, did I check the timing. But at the start, I noted this 1:11 and then I've just noticed 11:01. This is angelic energy around you and this person is coming in for you and there's going to be such a chemistry. They just said to me they won't be able to take their eyes off you when you meet this person, and you'll know in a glance who this person is, and they're coming in strong for you, group 3. Exciting. Heart-to-heart conversations. Perhaps this is somebody you might meet out on an event or through a friend. Maybe you'll meet them at work, or maybe they'll just be your paths will cross in some way and you'll have this conversation and then this spark will just be ignited. I keep making all these comments that are linked to candles. I don't mean to. I mentioned illumination earlier, but now I'm talking about igniting. So lighting this candle. And maybe this is lighting the candle of consciousness, of your consciousness, so that you can dust yourself down and, you know, shake off this energy in order to move forward and deliver on what you really want in life. So the affirmation that I've got for you today is, I am strong. Yes, you are, group 3. You are very strong. You are capable. You are exciting. You are passionate. You're one of these people I can feel when you walk into a room, people know it, and the room does light up. And the angels say part of that reason is because you are divine and you are your unique self. And that's really important for somebody listening. You don't need to get wrapped up in this, what should I have at this stage of my life? What should I be doing? Okay, because I'm interested now, I'm going to pull a couple more romance angels. Can you tell me more about this romance? Ooh. Oh wow, so now you've got a couple. Okay, so these two jumped out together and they're separate from this one. So these are going to be slightly different dialogue. For some of you, codependency has been a bit of an issue. And this is this feeling anxious and insecure about your vulnerability or your need. Or feeling like you need something in this lifetime in order to fulfill you. Well, firstly, let's just put that straight. No one completes you, you complete you. So I feel like when you understand that fully and you're in that power, that's when things are going to really start to change for you. And this forgiveness, it's got forgiveness and learning. Yeah, we need to forgive and learn for our past endeavours, but we also need to forgive ourselves and understand that we're just humans being. That's all we are. We're on this planet. We're all trying to use these inner compasses that we were born with in order to kind of work out what's our life about. What do we want? What do we need to do to achieve, to feel good about ourselves? And sometimes we can be really quite hard on ourselves about that, and we can be very abusive. This inner talk can be quite abusive about not being good enough and not being pretty enough, not being slim enough, not being financially stable enough. Whatever that is for you. If you're a guy, I'm not tall enough, I'm not handsome enough. whatever that is, it's just simply not the reality. It's a reality maybe you are presenting, but it's not being presented to everybody. Because there are people out there that find you very attractive. And maybe you need to start understanding that yourself. Okay, so then this other card jumped out. Engagement. Some of you will have gone through this journey and understood this pathway and maybe just been proposed to, or you're just about to ask somebody to marry you maybe. If you are, good luck. And how exciting. For some of you, this could be that you are coming out of this independent Nine of Pentacles energy. This is this girl or this man alone. And now you're coming into this unity that the angels spoke about at the beginning of the reading. And this unity is ultimately this institution of a commitment to another. Exciting. I'm very excited for some of you. Okay, and on that note, let's go to the Law of Attraction cards. Oh. What would you like us to know? What would you like us to know, Law of Attraction? It says absolute well-being is the basis of my universe. Gorgeous illustrations. This is about well-being of the self. And really kind of owning our Nine of Pentacles energy. This attractive, beautiful, full person that knows who they are, is comfortable in their own skin, and then like a magnet attract what it is you want. I'm going to read on the back of the card. Well-being is the basis of all that is. It flows to you and through you. You only have to allow it. Like the air you breathe, you only have to open, relax, and draw it into your being. So do you wish to be your own alchemist within your current life? Well, I want to tell you, Group 3, I think you're able to do that. Manifest, 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 and have a great week.